be talking about Jim Henson, the Idea Man, or Jim Henson, Idea Man. There should be a "the" in there, like THE, the Idea Man. Yeah, let's do that. I'm kidding. Anyway, so this is a documentary series that's coming out May 31st, which is not that far away because it is May right now, but it's coming out the last couple of days of May. So this is coming out after the Beach Boys as well. We discussed that on my channel as well, so you can go check that out as well. Now, Jim Henson, we all know Jim Henson by now. If you don't, welcome to the party as well. So yeah, so we do know Jim Henson has done Sesame Street, The Muppets, Fraggle Rock, Dark Crystal, of course. So he's done all kinds of things as well. Very talented person. So we're obviously going to find out more about his, life from how he created these Muppets and how he got into puppeteering as well. So that would be very interesting as well. Now, I grew up with Sesame Street when I was a kid, and also my mum grew up with Sesame Street as well. I don't watch it anymore because I've kind of grown out of Sesame Street, but I see some clips online on Instagram sometimes. So Sesame Street's not the same when I watched it. As well, I've always loved Elmo and Abby as well, because they'll go to introduce a new character, like, oh hey, it's Abby. So I was kind of like, the first one to see Abby, so that was interesting. There's some others on there as well. Grover's really funny as well, but Sesame Street has really changed, and I'm not saying that in a bad way. I'm saying that it's more, if you live in America, America's a bit political. It's become more not political, but it's talk about diversity. Like, oh, we get it. We're not like that down here. They get it. but it's changed. It's changed. I wouldn't say as political, but it's getting kind of that as well. Try to include everybody, but it's very hard to include everybody when you don't see yourself up there. So that's interesting as well. I used to have, when I used to watch Sesame Street when I was younger, I've got a photo somewhere of me when I was a baby, and I've got I don't have it anymore because, but when I was a baby, I had an Elmo and chicken doll, as well. Was he Tickle Me Elmo? I had a Tickle Me Elmo when I was younger. I do remember that, but I don't know if it was the same as a chicken Elmo, but anyway, yeah. You get the idea. So yeah, so I had a Tickle Me Elmo when I was a lot younger. I was, I was a lot younger back then, but I remember very well. I've got a really good memory. Sometimes it's not great to have a great memory sometimes, but yeah, it's fine. Anyway, I used to watch, do you remember Elmo's World? La 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 la, Elmo's World, because I used to watch that a lot when I was a kid as well. Loved Elmo, as well, as I said before as well. Also, I watched the Play With Me Sesame Street thing. I did watch that when I was a lot younger as well. You're probably thinking, even though I'm 22, this is what I grew up with, guys. Okay, don't judge me on that. but yeah, I remember watching that as well, to a degree as well. Also, now this is on Disney Plus, so you can go check this out if you want to. I used to watch a lot of Bear in the Big Blue House when I was a lot younger as well. Apparently there's clips coming out of that show. I don't know how, but I think because people put up a lot of childhood memories on Instagram, and I'm like, oh hey, it's that Big Bear in the Big Blue House. And I used to watch that a lot when I was a kid. I remember the bash 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 do. That son, if you remember that son as well from your childhood as well, maybe. I don't know. But yeah. But anyway, you can also check that out on Disney Plus as well. He did do that as well. The goodbye song. Yeah. Even though this was before I knew Fraggle Rock, this was before I knew the Muppets or Fraggle Rock. So this is coming the Muppets and Fraggle Rock now. But this was a long time ago when I didn't realize those existed yet. Or the Dark Crystal, which I did watch when I was a lot older as well. When I was a kid as well. I watched that movie, love that movie as well. So yeah, so anyway, let's look at Jim Henson, the Idea Man. They really should put a duh, because it kind of makes sense. It's Jim Henson, Idea Man. I'm like, what? It's Jim Henson, the Idea Man.
My name is Jim Henson, and I'm a puppeteer. Sesame Street. The Muppets. Dark Crystal.
Oh, so he sketches them out? That's interesting. I never knew that.
He showed people the good in all of us.
Ron Howard. I've heard his name somewhere.
Yeah, it's every moment of one's life kind of job, I think.
Robo Connection. Oh, come on. You got my heart.
And what's on the other side?
From a very early age, he had the feeling that he
I never
was here for a
seen
purpose.
young pictures of Jim Henson. That's interesting.
Characters come about from many different ways. It was my mother's coat and a ping pong ball. That's how it all started. He had so many ideas and so many things he wanted to do. His inner life must have been sparkling.
The space he gave to an expression of imagination, I see that in everything that he did.
Jennifer Connelly.
I love you.
I love you too.
Okay.
Oh my god. Try not to cry. Whew. The sun is getting to me.
There was nothing that Jim didn't entertain. And everything was getting a little bit bigger.
Becoming
Oh wow,
famous
Macy's
was what he
Parade.
wanted, that there was an innocence getting lost. Was going to impact his relationship with us and everything. That was complex.
He wanted to do more than is humanly possible.
That idea that time could run out was just unthinkable. If Jim was here,
This is gonna be a very sad documentary. I can see it already.
I just have to
But in a good way, though. In a happy way. The Rainbow Connection. The lovers. The dreamers. And me. Give me a sec. Oh my god. Oh, that was so beautiful to watch. Interesting fact, when I first saw the trailer, I nearly not teared up, but it's very emotional and very heartfelt, like in a happy way, not in a sad way, but like, try to keep your composure, Miller. So anyway, yeah, it looks really good. I like how they're furthering discovering like how, like with creations, you kind of wonder, how they made the new movies, how they do this, and I love that kind of thing because that's up my alley. I'm very creative, so this is gonna be very interesting for me to watch as well, how he created the Muppets as well. It's too bad they're not doing anything with the Muppet brand. The actual Muppets as well, like Kermit, Miss Piggy, Fozzie, and others as well. It's very unfortunate they're not doing a lot with the brand. But maybe this documentary can help them bring them back to the limelight. We'll see. But yeah, it's just a shame that in today's time they're not doing a lot with the brand. They've tried to. They've tried to. I saw a comment about the Muppets, like the Muppets, when they did that TV thing with Miss Piggy. I thought that was a really clever idea, but they canceled on it. Why would you cancel it? It was so good. As well. So they've got to get back up there as well. Yeah. So when they explain how they made Kermit or create Kermit in this case, that's actually true. He used pinball balls and his mother's old cloak to make Kermit. I did not know if you know that fact as well, but I've heard that fact. I can't remember when I've seen that fact or heard it, but I heard it somewhere. So that's actually true. So I guess we'll see more of that as well. And also, Kermit did appear on Sesame Street before he was actually in the Muppets as well. I'm not sure if you know that too, but that's just a little fun fact I like to put in there as well. So yeah, so we've got Fraggle, we got Jennifer Connelly. She's obviously in this because she is in Labyrinth. I have not seen Labyrinth, but I've seen it. It's on Disney Plus. I don't know if it is. Interesting. We've got Lisa Henson and also Brian Henson, which are the daughter and the son of Jim Henson as well. So they're gonna be in this as well. So that's interesting. We get the perspective of what was it like to live with their dad and have all these Muppets around. like it's the same thing, say like you know, like Janice and Ross's children, Vanessa and is it Michael, and they were talking about behind the scenes of one of the live action movies, saying that, you know, oh, when we were younger, we were surrounded by all this Alvin Chipmunk merch, so we're going to kind of get the same thing here with them as well. So that's going to be very interesting. The perspective of the kids. Let's see what they have to say about their father as well. So yeah, so Lisa Henson has worked on a couple of things. She did the Dark Crystal remake. I love the remake, but unfortunately a lot of people had a problem with the remake. I thought it was really good. Also, I did not notice she was the overseer of Fraggle Rock Back to the Rock season 2. I'm not sure if she was the overseer of season 1, but I saw in the credits of the Fraggle Rock series, like, oh, good for her, she's the overseer. I think she's one of the executive producers on them as well, so she kind of overhauls everything. So that's pretty good. At least they're in the business still, kind of, as well. Also, Brian Henson did direct the first Muppets Christmas Carol movie for Disney. That's on Disney Plus right now. And also, I believe he did the Muppets Treasure Island movie as well. I'm not sure if he directed it, but I know he was involved with it as well. So that's interesting. So I'm glad their kids are kind of involved in some of their father's creations still, kind of. So I think it's a nice message to send as well. Also, speaking of Muppeteering and, you know, creating these Muppets, you kind of see behind the scenes of how they, you know, kind of do it. And it's very fascinating to watch because, you know, we see it here in some of the documentaries about, you know, you've got a person under there and you've got a character up there, and they're obviously kind of, you know, doing the motions of the characters while they're up under there as well. So that's going to be very interesting as well. I saw a lot of on Instagram. I saw a lot of Fraggle Rock Back to the Rock, you know, behind the scenes, and I saw one on YouTube that someone posted. Like, that's so clever, because, you know, they're kind of like, because you see them, they're standing up basically. Well, it depends on what they're doing. They're standing up, and they sort of like, you know, walk the Muppets, and they kind of like have their head down. They've got a blue background, so it's very interesting to watch, actually, like very interesting to watch. There's a couple of Instagram, but behind the scenes of Fraggle Rock was so good. Also with this as well, I think we're going to get behind the scenes of how they actually do it. It's like saying like, oh, you know, the Muppets aren't exactly real; they're just Muppets, and I think a kid's gonna freak out like, oh my god, they're not real, but it's like, whatever. You know, because, you know, I think the Muppets and also Jim Henson's creations is a really big part of, you know, him as well. So yeah, so that's gonna be very interesting to watch as well. Also on that note, before I end this video, also on that note, I was interested to see that there was no mention of Fraggle Rock. I'm like, excuse me, that is Jim Henson's creation as well. Like, where is it in his documentary? As well. So maybe, I don't know, maybe they had some rights problems with Apple. Did they even ask Apple for it? I'm not sure, because we see Sesame Street behind the scenes. We see Dark Crystal behind the scenes, even though Sesame Street is owned by Warner Brothers, I think. Is it? Yeah, Warner Brothers. So yeah, so it's interesting that I had no mention or no mention at all of Fraggle Rock, which is kind of weird because you see a lot of behind the scenes of that show as well on Instagram, so that's weird. Anyway, moving on. So what do you think, Jim? What do you think of the Jim Henson, the idea, man? Let me know what you guys like. Make sure to like, share, subscribe to this video, guys.